And now, our feature presentation.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I ask no. You paid me there. And I see you rocking away 100 plus through whoa, fuck these and knuckles through back in ways. Ooh, I bet fuel is pumping in my ass, burning high, and I burn, pumping my direction, quench my thirst with deep hits. So give me that which I desire. Swallow future spirits, burn your heart upon the table. Take the cake, you in your mouth. Red lights, extra thick. Another junkie list. The best, the best, the best, the best, the best, the best, the best. Shut the fuck up. Wanna burn. Fuel, 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 fuel. Oh. And I burn, pumping my erection, quench my thirst with
News.
So give me fire, give me fuel, give me that which I desire. Ooh, yeah.
2 to the 1, from the 1 to the 3. I like good tracking and I like good trees. Smoke so much weed, you wouldn't believe. And I get more ass than a
Table.
3 to the 1, from the 1 to the 3. I met a bad beat last night in the deep. Let me tell you how I'm gonna leave with me. Conversation. I've been to the mother with the
Table.
heard motherfuckers talk, seen them drop. If I ain't got a weapon, I'm predictable.
Table.
And when I'm your ass, I'm gonna continue to get your ass off the wall with your 2 left feet. It's real easy, just follow the beat. Don't let that fine girl pass you by. Look real close, cause strobe like
Table. My knuckles. Why are there grapefruits in my
Metallica.
holy shit?
I don't want things to suck. I mean, it could suck, but that wouldn't be good suck. That'd be bad suck. And I don't want to give you guys bad suck. You deserve good suck.
Give me fuel. Give me table. My nigga. Ooh, I burn. Fuel is pumping, burning hot, loose and clean, and unknown, turning my table, quench my table with gasoline. Give me
Shit! I forget!
table.
Hey guys, I'm Scarfy.
I'm Naka.
Wait, did I do a stupid thing?
And
Yes.
welcome to Subwuffer Entertainment Treehouse, a determinedly drunk, geeky, and cheerful podcast where wolves, we house in a tree, we entertain, bringing you all latest entertainment news. Sets a lot like a music appreciation class. We talk about what's going on in certain topics to see how people react to them in certain ways. That song that you were listening to was...
It was a remix of Fuel by Metallica by a meme charter for Guitar Hero 3 / Clone Hero named Bandipat.
Known only as Table.
Which I have dubbed as Table.
Yeah,
this is the second time I've accidentally left our thing on because I forgot stream delay was a thing, and I heard Scarfy start the thing, and I'm like, wait, what?
That's why you need to listen to when I pay attention to you. Anyway, this is Kruz. Sorry, but that's how it goes. You need to be there for the intro. Anyway, I don't get the song, but apparently
you don't because you're a normie.
I am not a normie, trust me. Have you seen my Fur Affinity account? There is nothing normie about it. I'm just gonna let you know that right now. Anyway, guys, I'm just gonna level with you. I don't understand the meme. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell the chat a story. They made this song. Well, they didn't make this song. They made this song seem like such a big deal that I thought it was going to be something great, but I've never heard it a day before in my life, and they just made it a big deal, and they got my hopes up for nothing, so I just don't get it. But anyway, it's the song for the week, and that's really all that matters.
You're not exactly in a position to judge this song because of your lack of forte in metal. Not because of memory, but your lack of forte in metal.
No, it's also his lack of forte in memes.
But yeah, that's a part of it.
You don't even know my lack of forte in memes. But anyway, guys,
your gods cannot save you from my spicy memes.
But anyway, guys, welcome to Subwuffer Entertainment Treehouse. Before we get started, we do have a couple announcements to make. S.E.T has been brought to you by Streamlabs. We are a non-profit podcast, but we use this as our go-to for making more episodes and help them be bigger and better than ever before by purchasing equipment or other visual needs.
Dang it. No, it did the YouTube chat did the thing. Sorry, it did the break.
Oh well,
I got it.
It's fine. But anyway, please don't feel obligated. But if you have the heart to donate, it is greatly appreciated. And we do have a couple donations, don't we, Naka?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to play these in order of last received. So the first / last one we received, which was 3 hours ago from Felix. It is $10, but there's no message, so it's not going to show up on screen. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. However, we do have... All right. On Twitter, I announced... Well, on Subwuffer ET Twitter, we announced that we had that we had something very, very special that we had to announce that just... blew our minds, and I really do mean that. It really did blew our minds. So, well, why don't you go ahead and announce it, Naka?
Well, I'm gonna play an alert.
Mm-hmm.
See, we got $100 from a certain Kyle Shantz.
Oh my god!
Thanks for being a woosome.
Thanks for being a woosome. No, thank you for being a woosome. Jesus Christ! Like
Jesus H Christ.
When I got the notification, I had to show. I literally had to take my glasses off, wipe them, and
you did the freaking Jurassic Park the good thing. Right? There's a GIF I have that he takes his glasses off and it shows the glasses are still on his face.
Oh, I saw that.
It was. Yeah, it's a great one.
But anyway, guys, wow. Kyle, just wow. I can't believe it. I do not believe it. Like, you are great.
I do not believe it. Do you believe in miracles?
Can you count sagas?
But anyway, guys, thank you very much for donating. That you guys are so great. Kyle, I don't know what got into your head to donate that much, but
financial irresponsibility.
That donation is going to do very, very well. We're going to put up some next week. We were talking about doing this for next season. However, we are going to up the ante once again by next week, we are going to bring in posters, visuals to make our to make our podcast more interactive, not just to the ears but to the eyes as well. So basically, whenever we'll talk about it later next week. But yeah. Anyway, guys,
making
$100.
me do all this work, man.
Yeah.
What do you
I
mean?
already have I already have a busy enough work life.
I know, but you just make it more awesome, though. Soon it'll become second nature to you, won't it?
Maybe.
So.
Okay. Well, anyway, guys, we're getting a little off topic. Let's get right into the agenda with Kruz.
I mean, that kind of was
with music.
Kind of was the topic, though. I mean, sort of on that. There's no promises here yet, but looking forward a little into the future, maybe a little too much into the future, considering the possibility that we might. I would love if we could have like t-shirts or something. That would be dope. But that depends on us. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make our dreams come true. All right. Committing to this to the very end.
By the way, just real quick, before we were going to get into the agenda, Kruz, I'm Naka, I forgot to announce. What are the placeholders for donations?
Placeholders?
Well, like who donated the most money with between that kind of thing.
You were the one who did the math.
Oh well, I don't know it off the top of my head. It's on the website. Do you have it up?
Oh no, I know everything. It's just you were the one who wanted to bring it up, so I'm assuming you know everything about it.
Well, I don't know everything about it because you have the website up. So just
all
go
right,
ahead and
guess I have to carry us again.
Yeah, camping because I'm tired from carrying my team. He put the team on his back, though.
All right, so in you said you wanted it a placeholder, so highest spot is Kyle for $100. Felix Silverclaw has donated a total of $46.66.
Mm-hmm.
And Shutterwolf has donated a total of $10.
Okay, and that's all we. So and in total we have.
Let's see, $156.66.
Yes.
Which is
so
$156 more than we thought we'd ever have.
Yes, that is true.
Be real.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for your donations. If you guys are looking forward to donate, please donate to us on Streamlabs, on Subwuffer Entertainment Treehouse.
Give us your money. No, just kidding. Don't do that. Don't.
Give us your money so we can invest in better ways to ask you for your money.
Don't just be like, I'm going to give all my money to these people.
It's a weird game where you have to simulate texting and driving, which is a bad thing to do, but it's like you have to
terrible thing to do.
You have to try to do these things like it was a fucking, like the Android, like the little opening thing to drag the words together. It's weird, but that's what's on the radio in that game. Anyway, speaking of radio, we got music. We have a thing.
Yes, we do. Go ahead.
All right. So the first thing I'd ask, do you believe in all the things that you stood by before? Ah, shit, that's the wrong artist. But I will say it still has the same title, which is Architect. That is Paloma Faith. I will say that I actually do like her voice, especially if she sings a little deeper. Probably because it's not saturated with autotune. Yeah. So, yeah, she does have a nice tone when she sings deeper. The English singer will be releasing a fourth studio album. It's called Architect on November 17th. The link song is Guilty, with Crybaby also being available. Nero got here in time.
Yay.
Anyway, Paloma Faith, it's not, I listened to it. It's an interesting music video. It's not something that I'm particularly interested in, but yeah. Anyway, what do you have to say, Naka?
In all honesty, I don't really have too much to say about this artist. The next artist, however, I do, but we'll get to that when we get to that. It's not really interesting to me, is all.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of tend to as a musician or a guitar player, I tend to expect more music than just having the cool vocals. I mean, actually pay attention to the damn tune of it, which people seem to be incapable of in this day and age.
Right.
But yes, what Naka is referred to is the Barenaked Ladies. Hashtag send nudes. I had the same reaction to seeing this title as when I saw Korn had a song off their most recent album called Insane, which was, shouldn't they have done this already? Well, the opportunistically titled fourth album, Fake Nudes, from Canadian rock band, although they're really not rock anymore at all, Barenaked Ladies, that arrives on November 17th, though it was recorded while I was in Germany this year. Looking Up has been linked, a music video provided by Rooster Teeth. I'm not sure how that partnership was formed or whatever. Apparently, the Rooster Teeth also did another music video for them as well. Don't feel like going through all the
I know
other
about
songs.
that stuff. I know more about that stuff. I can explain that stuff.
Yeah. They were released in a weird piecemeal fashion. Like they were released like two at a time, and it was like if you had pre-ordered the album, you would get two at a time. And I was just like, I try to nail them all down, or at least a few of them. But this one was just like, I'm like, fuck it, I'm lost on this.
All right, so I shall explain the partnership and why I like this band. Back in, I think it was 2005. It was.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it was somewhere around the beginning of Red vs. Blue, Rooster Teeth's now incredibly insane internet web show that basically created the company.
Mm-hmm.
The previous ex-singer of Barenaked Ladies played a character named Captain Butch Flowers. Actually, no, he's the current singer. The previous lead singer, is gone due to some drug shenanigans, but the current lead singer, who I'm completely blanking on their name, played a character on the show. It was only in certain seasons and certain pieces. But what happened was that they were big fans of the show and big fans of Rooster Teeth. So a few years ago, they decided to partner up and release a music video for one of their for The Odds Are song, and went off with a hit. And now they make music videos with Barenaked Ladies. And I've seen Barenaked Ladies twice in concert before, and they put on a fucking show. They put on a show and a half, because they're not your typical we're this kind of pop rock band or soft rock band. They actually have some humor and comedy to it too, so it's family friendly, but it's also funny. And the last time I saw him in concert, it was Colin Firth. It was somebody and the Violent Femmes. My sister didn't like the Violent Femmes because, there's bras and panties on stage, even though, she doesn't know the history of the Violent Femmes.
Or literally what the name is supposed to mean or whatever.
Exactly. But that's another story for another day. I'm actually glad that they are making more music. So there's that.
Yeah, I was honestly listening to Barenaked Ladies, and they sound surprisingly really good. I understand they're probably not as what they used to be, but I like it.
Yeah, for one, it hurts physically to listen to something where they cut out all the actual instruments and just electro beats of a rock band. It's not bad at all. I mean, the music video, to be fair, was pretty entertaining. I mean, the partnership with Rooster Teeth and the bands seems to work out very much in their favor. At the very least, as Naka testifies to them being able to put on a show, and also how to form their kind of, aesthetic, the kind of, I don't know, not aura, but the kind of experience they're trying to give to an audience or whatever. think they've at the very least nailed that. Music, not so much interesting, but yeah, I do think that they have the showmanship down.
Right.
Believe me, if they're touring in your area, go see a concert by them. You will be, you'll have a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds like almost like sort of. I haven't actually listened to them, but like Ninja.
Cody eats his 20 boxes a day of strawberries.
Jeez.
No, he's really kidding. I don't think he eats that much. But anyway, that's really all I have to say regarding Barenaked Ladies.
All right, I guess that's it then.
All right, that's it. All right, the next thing.
Are you drinking on the job, Kruz?
Hold on, gotta put on my cowboy boots and go let's tie our Faith Hill and Tim McGraw. The rest of my life. Husband and wife country duo Faith Hill and Tim McGraw, who, fun fact, if you saw the movie The Blind Side, he was Mr. Toohey, would be releasing their, I have no idea how many albums they've actually done together, and I'm really too lazy to find out because it doesn't list them as a single artist. It just lists them separately. But the album is called The Rest of Our Life, and I have linked the album's title track. Be released November 17th, and it's not that kind of hard, heartfelt, boot stomping kind of country. It's more that just really laid back, trying to be romantic kind of country, which is just put me to sleep now. Yeah.
I think we broke Cody. Just gonna let you know.
Oops.
Yep.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
But anyway, guys,
Oops.
Regarding
And
Fate,
oops.
what do you mean?
Continue.
Are you done with Faith Hill and Tim McGraw, or?
Yeah, I just finished the.
Okay. I was listening to their song that they have here. I'll be honest, I kind of prefer this over their other work, if only because it sounds less country and more, contemporary. But that's just me. It's not something that I would listen to per se, but what do you have to say, Naka?
I honestly don't care about country music because I don't live in the middle of nowhere, Montana, like my sister and half of my family.
Okay, well then what do you have to say regarding this?
What do I have to say? I don't really care.
No, well,
I mean,
you
it's
need to
not-
show a little bit of appreciation.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not
Appreciate the
terrible.
suckage of it.
It's not that
just-
bad. I just don't listen to country music because I find it boring.
Right. Is it also
I'm working on a farm with my pickup truck and my
Is it
girl
too-
left me.
is it
You're
too
in-
conservative for you?
It's not a
That's not
political
a-
thing. It's just boring.
I know.
That's
I
really
know.
the issue with it, because it's like, I mean, that sometimes it is, but not very much. I mean, some like Leonard Skinner literally has the Confederate flag as their logo, but that's just because that's where they're from. They're from the South, and they have no kind of motivation for like being racist or anything. That's just where they're claiming their heritage, really.
Mhm.
So I don't have a problem with that. But just this kind of like lackluster country. It's just kind of like I know it's meant to be like the kind of romantic stuff. Their husband and wife, they're making this music together. It's good for them, but it'll put me to sleep.
Yeah.
Unlike this next one, it's also a classic.
As a well-known fan,
Here I go.
can you stop
On the
drinking on the
road
job,
again.
please?
Maybe. But that's right. I'm on the road again. Heartland rocker Bob Seger is back. His 18th studio album, I Knew You When. Will be released not October. I'm a fucking idiot. November 17th.
You really need to cool it with the booze, man. Keep going.
That's the kind of fuck up I'll have like completely sober too.
Okay, well,
Well, if you are into classic rock, in particular Heartland rock like this, then you know what you're gonna get. The only song I was able to actually find is Busload of Faith, which I've linked. I was not able to find the actual song, but just a summary of it is called the Glenn song. a tribute to the late Eagles guitarist and founding member Glenn Frey. Bob Seger.
I mean,
Silver Bullet. I get it. Lol.
as a well-known fan, it's that Bob Seger once sang with Creedence Clearwater Revival. That's actually, that's an actual story that happened to my dad when he was drunk 30 years ago. It was sometime either 20 or 30 years ago. It was long before I was even a thought or a little thing in his things.
Right.
If you catch my drift. I mean, I give him shit for that, but, you know, Bob Seger's a half-decent, you know, kind of classic rock artist, and, you know, I listen to his music from time to time, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, I totally see what you mean.
So I do have, that is what I say for it.
Right, okay. All right, well, yeah, that's really all I have to say regarding Bob Seger. Not much to say. I listened to what he had.
Wow, you need to be a more appreciative.
Appreciate.
Well, you know, this is the problem that I always have. It's like you always are just like with you, Naka. I don't really get it. Like we announce stuff with you, and then you're just like, yeah, I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that. Oh, I like that. Yeah, I don't like. And it's
That's
just
kind of the entirety of the internet. Like Prosy Dealer did a fucking video on it, or like you like that thing, stop liking that thing. I don't like that thing, or you like that thing. I like that thing too.
But anyway, Bob Seger is interesting. I don't know if I would listen to him particularly, you know, that well, but yeah, that's all I have to say regarding this.
All that I actually own is the Metallica version of Turn the Page, which, you know, I love. But I've heard that, and I think at least another song I cannot remember for the life of me. Yes. I'm not. Well, speaking of metal, you know, I had to include some in the agenda because otherwise I would be bored as shit.
Right.
This one is a bit of a,
Wrong.
you know, uncertain thing, but Ozzy Osbourne has announced his final world tour.
His final world tour.
Yes. Since the retirement of Black Sabbath, the band officially, Ozzy has continued to perform with his band, Ozzy Osbourne. Don't freak out. This is his final world tour, he says.
Oh.
Unless, of course, he pulls a Brett Favre and goes on another world tour.
Right.
All
Wait,
these
that's
dates
happened before?
Well, I mean, with like Brett Favre, is kind of like the joke was like, he did a commercial, something like, maybe I'll retire next year. I don't know. Probably not. Because he played until he was like, well, really, really old. All of the dates are outside the U.S., so we'll have to wait and see about any other upcoming shows here in the United States. But that's good news for our international
Black
listeners.
Sabbath has a song called Black Side.
Yeah.
To be fair, Motorhead has a song called Motorhead.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they also have a song called Overkill, which is another band. Overkill!
What?
Shut up!
I'm surprised Siskill doesn't play Overkill.
Well, Metallica did sort of do country, but we don't talk about that because that never happened.
And my new band is called Siskill.
So the tour will start in May in Mexico, go through South America, then Russia, Scandinavia, and Europe. So for any of our international listeners, this is probably your last chance to get Ozzy live. And he will be performing with Zakk Wylde, which should be great to see, because Limp Bizkit sucks cock!
I mean,
What?
well,
That's just-
yeah. Well, I mean, what do you have to say regarding Ozzy Osbourne, Naka?
I'm gonna eat this sandwich. Only takes 3 bites out of it. I'll finish it later. Yay! I'm sober. I don't eat the heads off of bats
It's like,
anymore.
what the fuck? Who the fuck is Justin Bieber?
Wait, is that
I
what
like
really...
to do drugs from time to time. No, that was
Wait,
a
is
joke
that-
from Family Guy.
Oh, okay, so I have a question regarding Ozzy Osbourne. Does he really eat bats?
That I
was a
don't know.
stage.
That was a joke.
That was a stage gag thing.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I know he's a drug addict, technically, or was he?
Well,
I like to do drugs from time to time.
he's done any and everything, pretty much, you can imagine.
Yeah.
Because Rob Trio from Metallica was telling a story about his experience with touring with Ozzy and said, like, Ozzy asked him and said, like, do you have drugs? And he said, no. And he says, well, you guys are boring.
Y'all are boring.
Yeah,
It's like, no, we're not.
You don't have any drugs, but you're boring. But yeah, so unfortunately, same Nero, they're not going to Iceland. You might have to travel to. They're going to, I believe, Finland and Sweden, some other places nearby. But yeah,
Zach Wilde, long lost brother of Nick Wilde.
Yeah.
Except Wilde is spelled with a Y.
Yeah, that other Zach Wilde is spelled with a Y. Nick Wilde, it's a stylistic change, who knows. But the man has quite the beard, I will say.
Oh, bury the
And
beard.
Respect the beard. That is all for music this week. And now we will turn to Naka with video games and stuff about warriors and whatever you have.
All right. There is one thing I do want to mention. Last week, pretty much everybody completely forgot that the Xbox One X was coming out, which is basically, it's dubbed the world's most powerful console. Hold on. I got something good for this. It is the world's most powerful console.
Go.
I had to do that. I wanted to do a gag with my voice changer at least once tonight, but it's pretty much an updated version of the Xbox One and Xbox One S with
really?
With pretty much built-in 4K support. It handles games like faster, load times are quicker. Basically, it's a big improvement over the Xbox One and the Xbox One S.
And how much money does it cost?
That I don't know off the top of my head. This is what the Google machine is for. Let's see, Xbox One X price.
The thing that Omega had to say
It is
was like
$500. Wait, that's for the Project Scorpio edition, which is exclusive.
So how much is it?
Let's see. The thing is that people don't actually tell. Like, there's no actual price. Here we go. Amazon.com. $500.
Yeah, that's expected. I mean, I don't understand. Like, video games just get more expensive like every year or something like that.
I mean, I can.
Like, the quality does go up to, at least in some cases. Yeah.
It's got 4K Blu-ray, 4K gaming, a high dynamic range. It's got 6 teraflops of graphical processing power. What the fuck is a teraflop?
I don't know. Well, actually, let me look that up.
Teraflop.
Let me look that up. Hold on.
Oh, something else to update with the Xbox One X is that games that are backwards compatible do get a little bit sharper and play a little bit better, like graphical-wise, on the One X. So that is an incentive.
Okay,
my stupid Cro-Magnon brain heard it as very fast and good.
Okay, so in
Polygon.
computing, flops or floating point operations per second, it runs by 6 teraflops. It's basically a measure of computer performance useful in fields of scientific computations that require floating point calculations. Basically, it means that's how much data the system receives and how fast it runs, basically.
Yeah. It's like the bigger the better.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, I saw Omega's review of it, and I agree that it's like, if the specs really matter to you that much, then it's worth it. Also, that you have to realize that you have to get a 4K TV to experience the 4K gaming.
Right.
If you already have an Xbox, then it might not be worth updating it to this, because it's, you're not getting a huge leap.
If you've got an original Xbox One, I recommend getting either the One S or the One X, because I I actually have seen videos, at least with Need for Speed Payback, which came out last week, having trouble on the original Xbox One model. It is better. It's for some reason it's pretty buggy on the original Xbox One. I don't know why, but because the Xbox One S and One X have faster processing power and everything, and better loading times, and like more memory and stuff, it runs. It's more optimized there. That is why I say
it's a super optimized Xbox, and it's the reason I bring up like it might not be worth it is because if you don't already have a TV that supports 4K and you want to do that, then you're gonna have to get the TV as well. Which is
here's what I don't get. It's like video game companies expect us to have the best of the best, and sometimes we can't even afford that. I just do not get that. I don't get it at all. It's just I don't know.
Well, that's EA for you.
Well, yeah, but not everyone, is everyone supposed to have, thousands of dollars, every single week? I mean...
Of course! This is
Yeah.
America. It's this is the problem with a capitalist society.
Yep. Anyway.
That's a joke. I'm fine with capitalism.
Yes.
I know.
At least that means, it's better than the alternative. It means you actually have food.
Anyway.
Moving on to actual releases. This one's just going to be a notable. I'm not going to go in depth because this game is released 15 times already.
Yeah.
It is The Elder Scrolls V, also known as Skyrim, on Nintendo Switch. Pretty much what this is the recent released special edition coming out on the Nintendo Switch with motion control via the Joy-Cons, that control the system, and amiibo support implemented into the game for extra. I'm not sure what the amiibos are for necessarily.
They're basically accessing hidden content in the game that you wouldn't have otherwise, basically.
And sometimes you can store stuff onto it, with
Smash Brothers.
Yeah, Smash Brothers and Splatoon, which I have yet to find the actual amiibo for it. I've looked everywhere.
But yeah, if you want to play Skyrim for the...
I'm not done yet.
Okay, go ahead.
See, I need to preface when I'm done, and then people can speak. Anyway, because we all saw this when the Nintendo Switch was debuted in the opening trailers, right? We all saw that Skyrim was being played on the Nintendo Switch in an airplane.
And then Bethesda tried to deny it.
And then they were just you know what?
We're on an airplane?
And then they're just oh yeah, no, we're working with Nintendo now. After after a very good goddamn long time.
It only took 2 consoles. Kind of upsetting, but yeah, I really need to get a Nintendo Switch, but it's $39. No,
It's $39. I wish.
It's $2.99.
I know, but it's still expensive because then you have to buy games for it. Yeah.
What Bethesda?
It literally costs an arm and a leg to get.
Don't you diss Bethesda? That's where I'm. Sort of live. Yes, the actual Bethesda that has the company name.
Games on a plane.
Yeah.
I'm tired of these motherfucking games on the plane.
Also, in addition to this, which it wasn't on the list, but I feel like I just personally want to add it, Doom, the 2016 version, has also been released on Nintendo Switch with positive reviews from IGN. So if you were unable to get that for Xbox One and you wanted to play it, or any other system for that matter, then it is on Switch as well.
Yes.
There is a bit of an issue with the... It's not a huge glaring issue, but because of the compressed pixels versus from the Xbox, there is some, detail, some blurriness on, if you zoom up to objects. But as they noted, if standing still, of course, means you're going to be killed immediately. So of course you're probably not going to notice it. So that's all.
Doot? Wait, no, Doom? I think you mean Doot.
We're knee deep in the Doot.
Okay, that's all I'm playing of that.
Yeah.
I see. When you start with memes, it's gonna be memes. I opened up Windows Media Player just to do those 3 seconds.
Okay. Anyway,
Alright, so is that all for Skyrim?
yeah.
Alright, we're moving on to LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2. 4 years after the events of the first game, Kang the Conqueror is traveling through different timelines and realities, conquering and kidnapping his most famous cities, and then merging them into one place, Chronopolis. Thanks to this, various superheroes are taken from their respective homes and brought there where they must work together to prevent Kang the Conqueror's threat, who plans on taking over not just Chronopolis, but the universe. LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2 is an action-adventure game played from a third-person perspective like every other LEGO game.
Right.
The game features similar gameplay to its predecessors and other LEGO games, alternating between various action-adventure sequences and puzzle-solving scenarios. The ability to manipulate time is pretty much given to players directly from the new open world of Chronopolis, which is a myriad, or myriad. I've never actually pronounced that word. Of 18 different Marvel locations, including Kunlun from the Iron Fist. Atlian, I don't know where that's from. A Hydra Empire, a Marvel Noir version of New York City. Nowhere with a K. Knowhere. An alternate medieval time, and several other places linked through time and space. The game also introduces a new 4-player competitive superhero battling mode, allowing players to fight each other cooperatively in battle arenas. It looks good and releases on the 14th for the PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch.
And what do you have to say regarding to this?
There is one important thing I have to point out. The floating planet, does it not look like Colonel Sanders? It looks exactly like Colonel Sanders. It's pretty weird.
What, so you're saying nowhere looks like Colonel Sanders?
The floating planet, yeah. it really does. This looks pretty cool. I haven't really gotten to play any of the LEGO games since...
Who got an email?
It was me.
I didn't get an email.
I played the LEGO Racers like years and years ago on PC, like back when you had to install it from discs, which, shows how long ago that was.
Right.
But, I'm a big fan of Marvel too. I was considering like LEGO Batman, but I wasn't really getting able to commit to that. Like it just sort of like was a thought that came and went. But hopefully I'll actually be able to, remember this. That's why I'm going to write it down. That's why I opened my phone and it had a notification. But yeah, I'm pretty excited for this. And I just had to really get it out of the way that had Colonel Sanders. That planet had Colonel Sanders' face. Planet KFC.
Speaking
What's
of Colonel,
the matter, Colonel Chicken.
Speaking of Colonel Sanders and KFC,
Off Java.
Prepare ship for ludicrous speed.
I really hope Shudder watches Stranger Things. I'm still on to you about that, Shudder. I really, really want you to watch Stranger Things. But anyway,
see, I don't push people to watch stuff, so you don't associate me with pushing people to watch stuff. Except for this show, obviously. Shameless plug.
Yeah, but Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, I was looking at it. It looks very interesting. I'm pretty sure it'll have the same feature that pretty much every every Lego game has, where you collect coins and battle monsters and all that kind of stuff. So really
they're called studs.
Whatever. I don't shit. But anyway, regarding Lego Marvel Superheroes, I think people are going to fall in love with it just like any other Lego game. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Yeah, that's it.
All right, so we're going to be moving on to Star Wars Battlefront 2, and no, it's not the Retro Game Showcase. There isn't one this week because I'm stupid and I've been, busy with work. But it's not an HD re-release of the original Battlefront 2, which was 2005. It's a new game that's set around Return of the Jedi, so you're doing like the Battle of Endor and stuff, and ends somewhere around right before The Force Awakens or somewhere around there. Also, I can hear myself through somebody's headphones or computer. Be warned.
No, I don't hear anything, but keep going.
I do, because I'm anal about that stuff.
Oh, okay, well, I don't hear that on my end.
It's very faint, but I can hear it.
No, well,
anyway,
it's not tripping you up.
Multiplayer seems to have improved over the original Star Wars Battlefront, the 2015 release, which was pretty much a Battlefield reskin. I'm not going to spoil the plot, because there are a lot of Star Wars fans in here. Oh my god, why is all of our chat... What's weird is that I can see the chat regularly on the thing that we have over here, which I'm going to move back. But my chat window is bugged right now, and all the text is just black. I don't know why.
Is that on the regular
No, it's
screen,
not.
or?
It's not on like the actual screen. It's the chat pop-out window that I actually look at text through and submit text through. I don't know why it's doing this.
And just refresh the page. But that should work anyway. But you know, So, but you were saying.
But I was saying. All right, there we go. That fixed it. I don't want to spoil the plot of the game because there are a lot of fans of Star Wars in here. And, you know, I don't really have a huge interest in it, but I might, like, go through and read up on the lore and everything. So I'm not going to spoil it here. Multiplayer looks like a more return to form, because there's actual space battles and shit now.
Right.
But, I'm not a huge fan of first-person shooter / third-person shooter games. This title does look great, and a recommendation for anybody who is a fan of the original Battlefront games that released in the early 2000s. It releases on PS4, Xbox One, and PC on the 17th.
Yeah. Not much to say about it. I know that my brothers used to play Star Wars Battlefront. I know that they really enjoy it. However, there's just not much for me to go by on this one. Kruz?
I played when I was doing my gap year in New England. One of my friends there had his PS4, and I got to play some of the Battlefront game, which I enjoyed. I liked the gameplay of it. We did like online stuff, did co-op stuff of like trying to hold off enemies from like a certain location for a certain amount of time, which I thought was pretty fun. Yeah, so it is an Xbox One, and might eventually save up to get this, but I still have to get still have to get Cuphead and other shit, or Cuphead. But I'm seriously considering this because the game, or like what I've played of Battlefront, has been pretty fucking awesome.
Right. Anyway.
All right. So I think it is time for the final and technically notable sort of re-release, sort of not a re-release. I don't know why Pokemon does this sometimes. The last time they did this was with Black and White, spoiler alert, with Black and White 2. But it is Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Pokemon Sun and Moon get the Black 2, White 2 treatment with no generational re-release, which makes me sad. While similar to the first releases, them being Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon add new gameplay elements, a couple new Pokemon mid-generation, which is a first, and rivals to defeat. First things first, there are 3 new Ultra Beasts, which I'm not going to spoil because I'm eventually going to get this game. And there are now new forms of the new Pokemon Necrozma, known as Duskmane and Dawnwing's form, achieved by absorbing Solgaleo and Lunala, respectively. And that's kind of like with the Kyurem White and Kyurem Black, or Kyurem Z, whatever the heck, from Black 2, White 2. I don't know, that's just a little strange. But Lycanroc does get a third form, So there is one where he does look like a werewolf, and it is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Whoosh. And there are new features such as Mantine Surf, which can allow you to surf from island to island at your free will. Alola Photo Club, and Ultra Warp Ride, which means you can take on Ultra Beasts in their home worlds.
Yeah,
New Z-
oh, go ahead. Keep going.
New Z moves are included, and I've heard that you can now use Z moves a maximum of twice per battle. The Aether Corporation, or Aether Foundation, whatever the fuck villain corporation from the original Sun and Moon, are gone in favor of the Ultra Recon Squad and Team Rainbow Rocket instead of Team Skull, who are just rip-offs of Poison Jam. Those fucking wannabe posers. Douches.
They are douches in every sense of the word.
It's like, oh, we're jamming out to this weird music, and it's just like, you're just a rip-off from Jet Set Radio Future.
Yeah.
It's not even just my idea. The creator of the Jet Set Radio Future sound, or like the main guy who created the soundtracks for Jet Set Radio and Jet Set Radio Future, even acknowledged this and was like, yeah, these guys are pretty much just rip-offs. How do you like that, Nintendo? Suck it. Somebody from Sega criticizing that you pretty much stole from him. Alright, I made up that last part about stealing from him. But anyway.
It's like, I'm sorry, Mr. Irrelevant. What?
This new team includes all antagonist leaders from previous installments, such as Giovanni from the first two generations, Maxie and Archie, and Giovanni. Yes, Gen 3. I didn't list all the leaders because I honestly kind of forgot about them after Gen 4 onwards. I'm just like, who are these people again?
Right.
What's your name? Okay, I'm gonna kick your ass now.
Because Giovanni's here. Ash's dad is back, and I thought he had a tan, but apparently he does not.
Ash is a dad?
Yes. And more legendaries are returning from multiple generations, which means less depending. Which means you can depend less on Pokemon Bank from the older games. This does look very solid. And it is releasing for the entire 3DS lineup. That would be the 3DS, the 3DS XL, the 2DS, the new 3DS, the new 3DS XL, and the new 2DS XL. So that's 7 3DS models.
Holy shit!
With 5 of them only having 3D, which is a gimmick.
Yeah.
On the 17th of November.
The problem with the 3D in Pokemon is that it like cuts the frame rate in half. Unfortunately, when it's trying to do it, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah. Naka tai hen daketo.
The fucking shitballs. Dude, there's I mean, you could probably guess the website, but there's just one image, and the whole comments section. It flawlessly does the whole Team Rocket intro, which is amazing. But regarding the game itself,
oh my god,
I have pre-ordered.
I'm sorry, what's going on? Is someone banging a rug?
They're doing something in the house. I don't know. I think they're like making food and they're tenderizing meat, and they obviously they don't hear as well as I do, and they don't know that this thing can pretty much pick up anything in the damn house. So that's why I was just like, oh my god, is this going to fucking continue? So I'm going to be quiet for a few minutes and only chime in when I want to.
Yeah, I'm planning on getting just real quick. I'm planning on getting Ultra Sun, and Kruz is getting Ultra Moon.
Because we wanted to do a Switch.
After you got Sun and I got Moon.
Yeah. So hopefully, be able to pick it up later this week. Right. I actually have to look at the calendar because I'm dumb. I'm on any stupid thing. So I can hopefully pick it up on Friday at some point. It's gonna be exciting to just get back into it. I haven't gotten any of the. I never played Black and White, but
Don't play those games unless you want to get your Pokemon from Gen 4 up to Gen 7. Just don't get those games. Those games are a waste of time. They're not good.
Yeah, I think there's kind of a reason that a generation was kind of just quietly passed by. But my point was, like, I haven't gotten any of like the re-gen games or whatever you called them, Naka, like
re-releases.
Like I did like Black 2 or White 2. I never got that. I had Diamond, I had Pearl actually, and like I didn't get Platinum for that thing.
Naka.
Yeah, this will be the first.
Can you not
generation, whatever the thing you have?
Can I not what?
Keep saying my name over and over again.
Yeah, it'll be.
But exciting. It's part of the song. You're part of the song. I can't. I'm not even kidding. It really is.
All right then. Well, it'll be exciting. Hopefully, to get back into it and see all the new shit that it has to offer, and the new form of Lycanroc, which is a little bit underwhelming, honestly.
Yes,
it's just kind of like they had like midday and midnight, and now this one is like twilight or something.
Yeah,
it's just orange.
No offense.
It's an orange version of the midday form, really.
Yeah, and no offense, I really do like Lycanroc's concept, but its type just sucks.
It's just rock. Well, the good thing is that at least I have both of them, both versions. Like the midday one has a really good advantage because it's fast and it can hit fast and hit hard. So sometimes you don't have to worry about being, just a rock type. And
then the midnight's a little more bulky.
Midnight is a little bit more like balanced with, I think you said it's HP and attacks.
Okay.
Nice leave. Yeah.
Cody. Can you fucking not? Can you fucking not?
What is he talking about?
Because there's somebody like tenderizing meat in the house.
Oh, beat the meat in the background. I get it now. Someone's beating their meat.
Kruz. I swear to God.
Anyway, let's. Do you have anything else to say, Naka?
I do not. That will be all for video games this week.
Okay.
We're moving on to some more Kevin Spacey shenanigans.
Oh boy.
I'm dying. Yeah. Play with fire. You eventually get burned, and Kevin Spacey's career has burned down to the ground as, unfortunately, his role.
How to get burned? Sorry.
Yeah. His role in All the Money in the World has been edited out and replaced with another actor entirely that is not Nicolas Cage. Christopher Plummer is known for playing Captain Von Trapp from The Sound of Music, which is probably his best-known role. Granted, he's played in other roles too, but it will be quite interesting to see him in the role that stole the trailer. Unfortunately, that brings up two problems. Not only does Ridley Scott have to go back and reshoot every scene that contains Spacey's character in it, throwing the schedule and release of the film completely off, as well as changing the expectations on how the film could have been if Spacey was still playing the role. But guess what? That whole trailer that we showed you some episodes back that had Kevin Spacey in it, that entire trailer that we showed on set, meaningless. So we'll sweeten the deal and play an updated trailer when it's released. It's just a shame that Kevin Spacey's level has stooped this low. Despite my love for Kevin Spacey as an actor, it seems that it's an unfortunate thing to see his career crumble before our very eyes as more allegations open up towards other people. It's sad, but yeah, sacrifices must be made and new actions must be taking place. Ugh.
Yeah. Takei surprises me because he's like a the poster child of the ultra PC politically correct
right
thing, and the huge voice against you know who. But when you showed me who the actor is replacing Spacey, I thought that what they were trying to do with this Spacey's look, all the makeup and stuff, they were trying to make him look older. I thought Plummer, he looks naturally like that, so I do think he's a better looking actor for that role. It's just even though that he's been hired under less than ideal conditions.
Yuri Hoshi said Kevin Spacey was only on set for 8 to 10 days, but that's the problem. It doesn't matter. He's still, like, Ridley Scott has to go back and go to every single particular articulate scene, set up shop, shoot the scenes with Christopher Plummer, repack, restart all over again. And that's a lot of work. I'm sorry. That's a lot of work.
To have to go to all those different, I guess, hopefully if they're not too far away, but just to go to all those specific points and like just redo those and make sure that it flows with the rest of the movie, that it's not glaringly different. It's
Right.
not like you want to do it so that you can't. It doesn't show that you recorded that completely separately.
Yeah, and what do you have to say regarding it, Naka?
I mean, how'd it get burned?
No,
I
but
do
really.
think it's kind of shitty that he has to that he does have to go back and shoot all these scenes again. And it's like, oh, he was only on set for about 7-8 days. Yeah, that's still a lot of time movie wise. Even if it's only for a few minutes of film, you have to set up all that time, all that shit for like maybe 15-20 minutes of film.
I mean, that's production. That's production. Like and it doesn't even matter. Like not only that, that entire trailer is just meaningless now.
Yeah.
It's just a little. It's just a little upsetting, really.
It's upsetting in your spaghetti.
Yeah.
Upsetty, have some spaghetti. Mom, spaghetti.
Anyway, it is sad, and unfortunately, it's just a shame to see Kevin Spacey's career just plummet to the ground. I don't even know if he's going to get back up from this.
Yeah, no, because also like it's with
Someone
with
played
people,
tub thumping.
Yeah, with a person who I had been a fan of, which was, as I referred to a little earlier, was I'm a huge Ravens fan, so when the thing with the issue with Ray Rice, came to light, I was really pissed off because I'm like,
Hey, diddle Ray Rice up the middle.
Yeah, I was a fan of him, and especially with that 4th and 29 miracle against the Chargers. That's sort of like, I didn't just realize it there, but that was like one of the biggest instances where you have to realize that they're people. You have to see them as people, and they'll make mistakes like this, and that they have the potential to be really shitty people, even though they're successful. Tom Brady. What?
Sorry, I'm typing, and I really hope it's not being on the sound. It's being recorded on the chat, isn't it?
No.
Now that you've told them, they're gonna know that you did it anyway. So it's really pointless trying to hide it now.
Anyway, do you guys want me to move on to the next piece of news?
Yes.
All right. Well, just when you thought you couldn't get enough Star Wars, it seems that Rian Johnson, the director of the newly awaited Episode 8, has made an announcement saying that a brand new Star Wars trilogy will be created outside of the canonical saga that is now being known as the Skywalker saga, with new original characters that will be explored on a different part of the galaxy. Not so sure if this is going to be a good idea, considering we've been with Jedi and Darth Vader and Dark Side of the Force altogether. Does this mean we'll be exploring a new world where none of those terms exist, or will they exist with brand new characters and interesting goals? I guess we'll have to wait and find out. Either way, it'll be nice to see what Disney will have up its sleeve here. I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens. What do you guys think?
Yeah, more Star Wars movies that aren't going to be as shitty as the prequels.
Yeah.
That's all. That's what I'm excited for.
Does this mean that with the it's going to be more or less a sequel to Rogue One then?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
I don't think. Well, oh wait, was that a question?
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's what I was thinking, that they're making that was going to be a trilogy. So they're planning on making another a trilogy starting with this one. Then
Correct.
Could be interesting. I thought it would have made more sense to me if they had had a trilogy from the start, starting with Rogue One, but Rogue One was a good standalone film, so I don't think it would have needed the.
It also tied up loose ends. It's like,
yeah,
I always wondered how the hell they got the secret Death Star plans anyway.
Yeah. But anyway, what do you guys have to say? What do you have to say regarding this, Naka?
I've already said my piece on it.
Oh, and you?
I'm a fan of Star Wars. I think hopefully they do well with this and all the Jar Jar memes.
I hope to God there's no Jar Jar.
The ability to speak does not make you intelligent.
Yes.
You follow me now, Okide?
No, please, God, no. Do you want me to move on to the movies that are coming out soon this week?
Oh, not the next one, but I guess you kind of have to.
This movie. I don't even know. I don't even know why this movie exists. The Star is an upcoming American computer-animated Christian comedy film. Yes, you heard that right.
Channel, everyone. Like PewDiePie said, Christian channel, everyone. No
Directed by
swearing.
Timothy Reckard. Kruz, shut up. Based on the nativity of Jesus and of an original pitch by Tom Sheridan. It is written by Carlos Kotkin and Simon Moore. The film stars Stephen Yeun, Gina Rodriguez, Zachary Levi, Keegan-Michael Key, Kelly Clarkson, Patricia Heaton, Kristen Chenoweth, Tracy Morgan, Tyler Perry, and Oprah Winfrey. The plot, so much as it is made up all from historical context, enters a small but brave donkey and his animal friends become the unsung heroes of the first Christmas. I'm gonna go ahead and bookmark that here because I just want to let you guys know that I talked to Joaquin Baldwin, an animator at Disney, on this film and asked him if he could describe in a sentence on how he felt about this movie. He had this to say, and I quote, "Trash. The Emoji Movie is just commercial crap, while this one is both commercial crap and brainwashing religious BS at the same time. So I might take the Emoji Movie over it for that reason." And considering that quote, I wholeheartedly agree. Now, listen, guys. We at S.E.T are not anti-religious. In fact, we believe that people should be able to worship and do whatever they want. And considering this movie, I think we can all agree here, we'll gladly watch The Prince of Egypt before watching this. But this movie, in our eyes, is garbage. It literally feels like we're feeding this film to kids in order to try and convert them to Christianity in all the wrong ways. But for those that are interested, and I'm really being sarcastic here, the film releases on November 17th. Oh God, it is so bad. Now,
I've been, I grew up in a Roman Catholic Irish family, and there have been in my young years, sometimes they have little Sunday school things, and sometimes they've showed there's old, I can't remember specifically, but animated cartoons of certain parts of biblical history, and of course those you understand were just classic old 2D kind of old school kind of cartoon styles, but with this kind of thing, I feel like they're taking it farther than it was ever meant to or really able to go. That they're trying to add, some modern humor into this, which, it's going to go about as well as the Emoji.
Is someone cutting bread?
Where's that bread? Where's that bread, boy?
No, it's that's a pocket knife on a box of Trident Layers gum.
Oh, no one pays me in Trident Layers.
That's how bored I am with this terrible, terrible movie. It is.
Yeah, I just wanted to give a perspective from someone just been growing up as Christian, and of course, I've read Nietzsche, and I'm really into mythology and all that other shit. I listen to Slayer too, and all that. I'm one of the classic memes. I'm Christian, but I listen to Slayer kind of thing. This I'm just the jokes in it that they're trying to make are just more purely cringe. I'll give them credit, more purely cringeworthy than vomit-inducing, with the Emoji Movie.
Right.
Purely cringing, albeit so much cringe that I feel like I'm gonna get a fucking hernia, but only cringy, not vomit-inducing.
Right, and
they do have that going for them.
Yeah,
and that's to say nothing of inaccuracy to the actual biblical story itself. I mean, that's a given. They're not going to be able to be that accurate to it.
Yeah, and Naka was sharpening his claws anyway. But anyway, Naka,
All right.
Naka, what do you have to say regarding this movie? And I'm asking you because I know that you're not highly religious, but
Yeah, I watched Veggie Tales too. I remember that.
But you did claim that you would watch The Prince of Egypt before watching this movie, like hands down, paws down, no comparison, right?
You know why? Because The Prince of Egypt doesn't shove religion down your throat. It wasn't its first agenda.
Right.
It was basically just trying to tell a new story on something that was, of religious and historical context. It wasn't trying to be like, oh yeah, we're a comedy. By the way, you should join Christianity. Like, it seems that's what this movie feels like. By the way, I'm not anti-religion, but if you push stuff on me, like radicalistic ideas, or you want to try and hurt me because I don't believe in a certain thing, go fuck yourself. I'm perfectly fine with people who follow religion or have faith in something. I personally don't. I don't see any personal benefit from it, but there are people out there, some in my family in fact, who do believe that there is a higher power, there are supernatural elements, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not going to question their values. I grew up in a household where we didn't pray, we didn't go to church, we didn't, say grace.
We just lived.
We pretty much just lived, and there were very few times a year where we would pray because we were with family who were more religious, all that kind of fun stuff. And I was perfectly fine with it. It was like, why am I going to be disrespectful and not do this? That's rude.
Yeah, But anyway, but like you said...
I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet.
Keep going.
The main reason why I'm not going to go see this movie, and I think it's garbage, because... we're basically just going to tell a comedic rip-off story of something that may or may not have actually even happened. It may have happened. I don't know. I didn't do Bible study because, again, I never really went to church. In my opinion, religion, to me, and I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for this, I am an atheist and I think religion is bullshit, but that's my idea and I'm not going to... discern any other people's ideas. You can be religious if you want to. You can go to church. I don't give a damn. As long as you're not forcing me into it or going to hurt me for the fact that I don't go to a specific church or I don't don't have faith, go fuck yourself. And that's the end of that. I'm Bruce Willis, and that's the way the cookie crumbles.
I think you mean Bruce Nolan, but anyway.
Yeah, as far as me, I wouldn't say I've grown away from it, Christianity, but I'm less connected to it, but I still have that. For me, it's because of my heritage. I'm proud to be have that Irish heritage, and that's what I connected to. That's why I sold onto it, and also just it's.
But Naka, you still love us, regardless.
It's cool to have that, and to have to consider other possibilities, which is why I like mythology too, because of how those other things overlap and whatnot. That's the reason I'm not an atheist.
Hell, you could be Greek Orthodox Super Jew.
That's kind of boring to me. I'm just you're not thinking there could be other possibilities. I'm that's not what all atheists are, but
we're
I'm
not
very interested in
we're just not the anti-religion channel. That's not who we are. Yeah. We're an entertainment channel.
Christian channel. No swearing in my Christian chat. Just because Jesus
We can
Christ,
swear whenever the fuck we want.
Jesus Christ is my... What?
The thing is, I don't care if you practice... I don't care if you practice correct Christianity, Greek Orthodox, Super Judeo-Christianity.
You still love us.
No, let me rattle off some more religions. I don't care if you're a Pastafarian. I don't care if...
Yeah. Don't hear the flying spaghetti monster.
I don't care if you're Hindu, Muslim, Buddhist, Islam for that matter, as long as you're
Westboro
not...
Baptist Church.
No, Westboro Baptist Church, maybe because they suck.
Yeah.
Jehovah's Witness. But I really don't care as long as you're not an extremist or out to get me. I really don't give a fuck if you do practice religion.
Yeah. Anyway, do you want me to move on?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yes. To oh hey, we've all been through this in school.
Yeah. I'm really wondering if this movie is going to be all that great. Speaking of wondering, Wonder is an upcoming American family comedy drama film directed by Steven Chbosky and written by Steve Conrad based on the 2012 novel of the same name by R.J. Palacio. The film stars Julia Roberts, Owen Wilson, and Jacob Tremblay. Augie Pullman is a young boy with a facial deformity who has been in and out of hospitals for years. With the help of his mother, Isabel, and his father, Nate, he tries to fit in a new school, Beecher Prep, and to show everyone he is just an ordinary kid and the beauty is not just on the outside. The film is directed by Steven Chbosky, and if you don't know who that is that Steven is responsible for directing his own written work, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, which is a beautifully done film. I highly recommend you all. Great film, by the way. I highly recommend you guys see it. It's really well done.
I did see a trailer of it. Now, of course, the title reminds me of it's one of the songs off the In Flames last album, Wallflower, which is kind of like has that same message to it, which I think was interesting. I might, if I remember, I'll try to see it.
But anyway,
the message, I just want to go through a little bit. The message of that song was like, I want to be heard, but not take up. I want to be seen, but not take up too much space or whatever. It's kind of like you want to have that in your life, but you don't want to be a burden, kind of thing.
Yeah. This film, however, I'm not exactly sure what to think of. To me, this film feels like it would appeal to adults and older adults rather than late teenagers and college students. I'm not sure. I think this film kind of is just I don't want to say propaganda to bullying, but that's exactly what the message of the film is. Don't be a dick, basically.
Be bad.
Something we at S.E.T can kind of already tell many stories on how we dealt with bullying as a kid. As much as I love The Perks of Being a Wallflower, this film just doesn't really do anything for me. It serves me a message I've heard dozens of times.
Yeah, and
don't be a dick.
And as a Ravens fan going to football games for years, they always have things of like, they have the rules like they say like, don't do like you can be kicked out if you're drunk, if you fight, or if you continuously use foul language and upset other fans like that. And then at the end it says, root hard, show respect for the fans around you, and then it goes quiet and says,
can I finish,
don't
please?
be a jerk.
Can I finish, please?
No, you're not allowed to. But
that's all I got from watching this trailer, so I don't really find anything that special about it. However, maybe this is a film for you guys. If you're interested, the film releases on November 17th.
I can see it kind of easily kind of being a little bit underwhelming with its message to the, non-adult audience, but it might be a heartwarming film for just people who want to have a feel-good story.
Yeah. Why? What do you have to say?
Can I speak about this? There was somebody that somebody that went to my high school, so I can hear myself through somebody's microphone again, some audio bleeding or whatever.
Sure, a little reverb.
It's a little bit. I can notice it. Probably nobody else can. But anyway, continuing. I went to school with somebody, at least high school anyway, with somebody that had some sort of face kind of. Basically, her. She was black, African American, whatever the politically correct term is to call somebody with dark skin.
Okay.
And there were patches of not only her hands and fingers, but of her face that were kind of like white, that were white skin. Not the average American white male.
You've seen that before, like people have if they've got either it's just like a skin disease or like this burns or whatever. Like you can tell there've been different shades of patches. Like I've seen people have that. Normally I haven't seen people with a lot of that. But I didn't think much of it.
And one thing that I did notice was that, at least when I saw her walking around and everything, is that she never. Keep in mind, this is only from my experience. I don't know everything about this. Well, I think she's now 18, so technically she's a woman.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the time I saw her, she was a lot of people just saw the beauty inside of her, not something that she couldn't control. And that's something that unfortunately didn't happen to me. Yeah. But I'm not as fortunate as others, because I got bullied for the way I look or the way I did stuff in school, because let's pick on the new kid. He lived in New Jersey. Maybe he went and partied with all those orange fucks on Jersey Shore. Fist pump, bro. That happened to me in 7th grade. I'm very pissed off about that still. But,
right.
It still amazed me that there's people out there who are actually half decent people and won't bully somebody because they have some sort of weird genetic kind of skin condition thing.
Regarding this movie, however,
well, I don't have a skin disease, so I can't really speak for, wanting to be normal or wanting to fit in and be as normal as everybody else. You did mention earlier about, like, trying not to be a burden. That's how I feel in my everyday life, goddammit. That's my problem with anxiety, is I feel like I'm a burden to everyone, except I'm not, and there's some days I struggle with that. But, anxiety aside, bullying really does suck. It honestly goes unpoliced, or it pretty much gets swept under the rug. I know from experience.
But we've heard this story, though.
Unfortunately, we have heard this story before. I'm not discounting the the creator of this content. It's just something that I've heard before, seen before, and experienced personally. So I myself will not see the movie. I still hope it does well for his sake.
Right. I do. And that's all you. And do you have anything else to say, Kruz?
I believe that's it.
Okay. Do you want me to move on to the next film?
Here we go.
All right, Esquire, huh? Guess we'll have to see what that means. Case
Objection.
in point, Roman J. Israel Esquire is a 2017 American legal drama film written and directed by Dan Gilroy, the director and writer of the film Nightcrawler, not to be confused with the X-Men, and responsible for writing Kong Skull Island. The film stars Denzel Washington, Colin Farrell, and Carmen Ejogo. Sorry, just needed to take a moment right there. A Jewish lawyer named Roman J. Israel has been fighting the good fight while others take the credit. When his partner, the firm's front man, has a heart attack, Israel suddenly takes on that role. He finds out some upsetting things about what the crusading law firm has done that run afoul of his values of helping the poor and dispossessed. And he finds himself in an existential crisis that leads to extreme action. While the film is nothing too special, nor does it catch my attention right off the bat, the film does interest and intrigue me. Denzel Washington is a pretty good actor no matter what he's in, and I think that this film is going to do decently well. If you're interested in watching some funny antics with a lawyer, then I think this film will do just fine. There's just not much to say. I mean, I looked at the poster and I honestly thought it was going to be something Oscar-worthy, but we got something different with it. However, the film releases November 17th. If you're interested.
Yeah,
what do you guys
I know somebody who is interested but wouldn't be allowed to watch it. A certain barrister, the Boozy Badger barrister.
Right.
As if you can recall.
Well, he was going to watch.
He would probably
Marshall.
Yeah.
Oh, Marshall. Yeah.
The thing is that he's not allowed. Well, I think he could go see it in the theater. He couldn't go see it. He couldn't watch it at home because everybody would just be criticizing. Oh, you can't do that in law. Oh, you can't do that in the courtroom.
Yeah.
He's probably just kidding around, really. I don't know. Unless I legitimately
there's probably at least some truth to that, but it's probably
there
not.
probably is some truth. It's mainly with Law and Order and shit.
Probably,
but it actually does look half decent, and there is some humor into it, so I'll give it that. It's not something I'm going to totally. It's like, oh, it's about a lawyer. And it's like, yeah, I can go play Phoenix Wright and have my own humor there, but I can go see somebody else play Phoenix Wright, except it's not Phoenix Wright at all. And it looks like a fun movie for me to watch.
Okay, and how about you, Kruz?
I think just to see the Denzel Washington with this one-liners and this sound, seem pretty fucking funny. He's like, why are the brothers sitting and the sisters standing? That's gendered and sexist. He's like, and polite, because actually being considerate. It's a big up yours to those kind of pompous assholes. And then his retort sorry to waste a second of your rubber stamp existence. Which I would watch this just for the one-liners, if nothing else.
But anyway, that's really all I have to say regarding Roman J. Israel Esquire. There's just not much I have to really talk about with this movie. The next movie trailer, however, is all we can talk about for a while. Do you want me to move on?
Yes.
And I would appreciate it if you let me finish before you have to interrupt.
Microphone's going on mute. Kruz, do the same, please.
What? Oh, for me?
Please mute your
Okay.
microphone while
He doesn't.
Scarfy does his
No.
piece.
He doesn't have to mute his microphone. He just needs to stay silent. That's all.
That's what I'm gonna do, though. So go.
And now we come to probably the most skeptical comic book movie of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of hopes, dreams, and probably a lot of mixed feelings just keeps us from guessing if this film is going to be any good. Justice League is a 2017 American superhero film based on the DC Comics superhero team of the same name. Distributed by Warner Brothers Pictures, the film is intended to be the 5th installment in the developed characters, DC Extended Universe. The film is directed by Zack Snyder with a screenplay by Chris Terrio and Joss Whedon. From a story by Terrio and Snyder, and features an ensemble cast that includes Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, Amy Adams, Gal Gadot, Ezra Miller, Jason Momoa, Ray Fisher, Jeremy Irons, J.K. Simmons, Diane Lane, and Connie Nielsen. Months after the events of Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice, and inspired by Superman's sacrifices for humanity, Bruce Wayne and Deanna Prince unite a team consisting of Barry Allen, Arthur Curry, and Victor Stone to face the catastrophic threat of Steppenwolf and his army of parademons, who are on the hunt for the 3 mother boxes on Earth. Whilst the world reflects on Superman's death, we're going to put a little bookmark here and come back to it. We have something that needs to be discussed. Wonder Woman, released this year, was a great film. It did everything in its power to exceed expectations with interesting characters and actually told a story that was well worth a ticket, with some minor flaws here and there with some of the side characters, but nothing too bad from its story, fighting sequences, visual, and personality. With this film, not only are you going with Zack Snyder again, who directed probably one of the worst superhero movies ever made when it comes to telling a story, but that means I fear that Wonder Woman, hell, all of the characters are going to be brought down to being generic and uninteresting to watch. However, there is a little curve with this one. Snyder's daughter unfortunately committed suicide and had to drop out of the post-production as a result, which I greatly respect him as a family man for. Unfortunately, I can't say the same about his directing, causing our very own Joss Whedon, director of The Avengers from the MCU, to do reshoots and rewrites of the scripts while he was gone. So my hopes are kind of in the middle, but unfortunately it still has Snyder's hands all over it. So I don't know if the movie will actually do okay, bad, or great. However, I'll just have to wait and see. This film right here is probably the most skeptical that is being talked about on our show, because we had very high expectations for it, yet so low for its performance because the film had to go through a struggling production. However, this will be a film that I am personally going to see, and we'll have to wait what the verdict was regarding it. Regardless, however, the film releases November 17th. Now, I want to make sure that people actually understand, and those who actually have reason and good reason to understand what it means to have a good superhero film, an okay superhero film, a great superhero film, and an utter shit superhero film. And that's what I'm trying to wonder what kind of movie this is going to be.
There's a little bit of a reference to this in like the South Park thing. It's like, yeah, we're DC, we're Marvel, and you're DC, so you guys suck. I did really like Wonder Woman. I thought it was a very well done film for DC, which, I mean, it's, albeit with some glaring flaws, but it was a great step in the right direction for them. Granted, they're far from reaching Marvel status. As for me with Justice League, let me go first to Batman vs Superman. Oh my god, it dragged on for fucking ever, but the battle at the end was good and showed promise, rightfully so, for Wonder Woman. And now for Justice League, I believe own at least some of the series on VHS, which I really enjoyed watching. So I'm going to be eager to get back into this and just see it, because I think Aquaman looks like an awesome badass character.
Well, and he's played by the guy who played one of the Dothraki in Game of Thrones. But continue.
Oh yeah, that is him.
Yeah.
I hope for the love of God it does well, and that with how
You mean did you say Gal Gadot?
I don't think so. Not yet. I was going to.
Okay.
I think I hope that it does well, because of how well Wonder Woman did. That I don't know. That's all I can say. I mean, I hope it does well because we don't know, because we've seen like the pretty much the worst and the best from DC in like the span of like just a year.
Yeah, and what do you have to say regarding this film, Naka?
First of all, I wasn't gonna go with a what's the movie? I wasn't gonna go with a Spider-Man 2 or Whiplash reference. I was going with a Portal 2 reference when I said combustible lemons that burn your house down when J.K. Simmons was mentioned.
Get the fuck out of my sight before I fucking demolish you.
So, I wasn't gonna do that. I wasn't gonna do a reference to either Whiplash or except I just did.
I have the gift of that. It's a beautiful scene.
But
that's why it's my favorite Spider-Man movie.
Honestly, ever since the Dark Knight trilogy, DC movies haven't really been the best. I think Wonder Woman was a step in the right direction. I just hope this doesn't go into the utter shit category. I hope it's at least okay. Anyway, that's all. I think Scarfy died.
Just needed to get something real clear. I hope you don't mind, guys. I actually have to use the bathroom. I know, right before the coming attractions, right? So in the meantime, why don't you ask the chat how they feel about Justice League, and then you guys just talk about how they feel, okay?
Yes. Oh man. Yes, we would love to. Since Samuel Jackson, he did the role. He was of like Frozone in The Incredibles. I mean, we need something more.
Where is my super suit?
Where is my super sock? Dude, that's a great YouTube video. Like, look up "Where is my super sock?" It's fucking amazing. It's like the Nuka is in danger. It's like greater good,
greater good.
You tell me where my suit is, woman. We're talking about the greater boy.
Greater good.
I'm your bitch. I'm the greatest oof you are ever gonna get. Mission failed. We'll get him next time.
I like how we were asked to do one thing and then we're just completely not gonna do it.
Yeah. So what do you guys think about it? Just spill it forth.
Spill it forth? Spill what forth? I don't like spilling things. Spilling things means I have to clean things up with a towel, and I don't like getting towels wet and dirty.
Okay, well, now that you just put that out there.
Getting towels wet or dirty? Hey, have you ever had to clean up soda on a white carpet? I bet you haven't. It sucks.
Yeah. I think wine on a, tan carpet, a very light tan carpet. It's just bad. I had to get dog shit out of a wicker.
Hoshi, is that your Destiny burger?
What the fuck? Samuel Jackson.
Well, Avengers, not Avengers. Shudder, you're only running on like 3 or 4 hours of sleep. You just had to drive 9 hours from Reno just to get back home for work tomorrow or Tuesday. So your brain's technically not dying. You're just on low sleep. I know the feeling of being on low sleep, staying up till 2 in the morning one night with one of my friends, just watching YouTube videos, then waking up at 7. Yeah. At his house, mind you, where I'm sleeping on the floor and he's sleeping on the couch.
Yeah. That's almost happened to me during my gap year, because my friend would get high as shit, and then come back, have like vodka and Red Bull, and then watch a movie or something and play PS4. And I would, to my credit, I never really passed out at his place. Because it was really just like a less than a minute walk back to my apartment. So but I've been in that kind of situation before where you have to try not to pass out at your friend's place because you want to actually get back to yours.
Well, keep in mind, I was staying the night over at his place because we were both 14.
Oh yeah, this is a tasty burger.
Pulp Fiction, right?
Yep.
I was right.
Like a bitch.
What does Marcellus look like? Answer.
Describe what Marcellus Wallace looks like.
No, I saw this in a YouTube video earlier. It's like question number 1. What does Marcellus Wallace look like? A, black. B, bald. C, a bitch. D, what?
A bitch or what?
A bitch. Anyway, I'm back.
Does he look
Hi.
like a bitch?
What did I miss?
You have seen Ragnarok, and I have to resist the urge to belt out, Amon Amar's
I'm still waiting for Naka to go see Thor Ragnarok, but he never does. Because he doesn't have time. Why are we whispering? They can still hear us. Because we never have any time to watch movies, that's why. So Naka really needs to go watch movies. Guys, this is a very good plan. Because he doesn't ever have the time.
Welcome to McDonald's. How may I take your order?
Welcome.
Anyway.
A big thank yous from Nick Spankies.
Anyway, I'm gonna move. Big Heart. Did you literally just quote Jimmy Neutron? Oh my god. All right, I'm gonna move on to our next coming attraction.
Boy.
695 at the next window, please.
You don't need that. I'm right here.
Anyway, coming attractions. Sherlock Gnomes, a sequel to Romeo and Juliet. The garden gnome couple asks the legendary Sherlock Gnomes to solve the case of missing garden gnomes in London.
They've
Who cares? I don't.
They've got to run out of pun names eventually, unless they make a movie about Keemstar.
No. just no.
They're going to make.
Do you have anything else to
Keemstar
say?
the movie.
No. Actually, I do have something to say.
This is not the kids' meal toy this week.
There's some jokes that I saw that I hoped they would make, but then of course they have to be PG about it, which kind of really kills it. And then of course there's just the cringy shit as usual. So just it's entertaining at least to see some of the trailer, just to see just how kind of god awful it is. But it's kind of a guilty pleasure of mine just to see how dumb it is. But yeah, I'm not gonna watch the whole movie.
Do you want me to move on to the next coming attraction?
To
Jimmy Neutron was
to kind of a movie that looks that I'm not a fan of this movie. I'm just gonna say it now.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Huh. Well, okay. Well, we'll get into that because I'm really surprised. Game night. A group of friends who meet regularly for game nights find themselves trying to solve a murder mystery when one of the game nights actually turns out to be real. And yes, it does star our very own Jason Bateman from Zootopia as Nick Wilde in this movie. What do you guys think?
In all honesty,
Zootopia. Nick Wilde is not in Game Night. I'm just saying the character who plays Nick Wilde is in Game Night. But anyway,
the actor.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna go because he had a burning desire to rant on this.
So I personally thought this movie was interesting. This movie had a plot thread that looked interesting for me.
It looks like it's a funnier version of Date Night, because Date Night was not all that funny. With Tina Fey, Steve Carell.
What, Date Night?
Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Or no, something like that. Tina Fey and Steve Carell. This kind of reminds me of that, but it actually should be good. It actually reminded me a little bit of The Watch or Neighborhood Watch. With Vince Vaughn, that was fucking hilarious movie. I was watching that with my family actually, and I had to bury my face in the couch because I was trying not to laugh so hard at shit they're saying. This looks like it could be funny in some cases, but I'm just not sure about its consistency about being funny. But it does give me a little more hope than a normal comedy of this type would. I'll say that much.
Right.
See what?
And do you have any? And
my first,
and
probably
not to say it's
the
more
major problem with this movie
more.
is that.
What is your major problem with this movie?
I think the premise is great, in my opinion. It's just the way, and I'm sure the movie's going to be different than the trailer, but the first thing in the trailer, guy gets kidnapped and everybody's just sitting at the table. It's oh, I need to cut more cheese. And you're seeing somebody get kidnapped. That wouldn't raise any suspicion at all. It's you don't know what's real and you don't know what's actually in the game.
They don't know that the movie is real. That's the problem. They don't. The game. They don't know if they thought that the game was all fake and that it was just RP.
Even I would raise my eyebrows about that. It's like, dude, our friend just got kidnapped. We have to find him before he gets killed. I don't care if it's a game or not. We should find him before he dies.
And
that's my main problem.
They're just been told that's all it's get. And I mean, of course, it's a movie. Of course, that's the only time they'd be able to act like that. I mean, like,
I know it's a movie, and I know you're supposed to.
It reminds me of something that Game Grumps actually brought up in one of their videos, like that. They were like, it's weird that people are so chill when they have a gun pointed at them, but then eventually mention that like in movies, like that's the only place you could be like that, and that kind of reaction is meant to be unusual, and it's meant to be seen as unusual or like badass,
right?
Depending on how it is,
right?
So I mean, I understand like it's kind of a point to be not taken seriously. It's like, what if this happened and it wasn't taken seriously, and then they had to find out? Of course, that's the whole point of that movie. Take that away, and it looks pointless. But
yeah,
I think it does look a little bit more promising than a regular company of this type would be, but I don't know how consistent it'll be.
I mean, that's just. I mean, there were parts of it.
It could easily be like
go Naka.
The thing is that, if somebody points a gun at you, you shouldn't just say, "Oh no, it's all part of a game." You should still be worried. I don't care if it's an airsoft gun, an air gun, or a real gun. In any case, you should still be worried no matter what the hell is going on. That was close to the end of the trailer. And then some guy with a gun gets sucked into the trailer. It's like, yay, I lived! Oh, he died! It's not even loaded.
I guess...
Yeah, I love that. It's not even loaded.
No, it's just,
do you want me to move on to our next trailer?
I'm just gonna wrap up and just say, if I was playing myself or a character in this movie, I'd just be like, hell no, I think this guy just got kidnapped for real. I don't care if it's a game or not. We should still go after him as soon as possible. Drop the fucking cheese, Eric. We should actually go after the guy.
At least they eventually go after him.
I'd have gone after him immediately. Are you kidding me?
I know.
That's my main gripe, is that people are stupid. It's just that people are stupid, and that's what pisses me off.
It's part of the enjoyment of. That's supposed to be the enjoyment of it, to see how stupid people can act sometimes. I don't know.
Anyway, do you want me to move on?
I'm playing devil's advocate here.
Yeah. Please.
All right.
Fucking hostile.
Hostiles. In 1892, a legendary army captain reluctantly agrees to escort a Cheyenne chief and his family through dangerous territory. This, in my opinion, is very, very, I want to say Oscar-worthy. I think it's going to be an Oscar-worthy film. What do you guys think?
I would say you're making us fucking hostile. I had to make that. The only gripe I might have with this is that it just seems like the plot is kind of all over the place, despite being very clear cut. I mean, of course, you understand what he's doing, but just the things they're trying to I don't know, just the dialogue that they chose for the trailer just seemed a little bit confusing to me. Like, we lay our heads down and we're all prisoners. I'm like, the fuck is that supposed to be? Some profound Gandhi shit or whatever? Like, I don't understand. I don't really get the significance of that, but hoping it'll make sense eventually, because it does look like it should be a good film set in the old kind of.
No, I would probably win the wolf fight. Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, there it goes. Start the fake beefs. I smell like beef.
Kyle, you say the floor tile is hostile. The pizza is aggressive.
Yeah, that's offensive. She's offensive.
What do you have to say regarding this trailer, Naka?
Hold on, I need to look something up real quick.
Okay.
It's going to be playing on stream in about 4 seconds.
The pizza is aggressive.
All right, I got that out of the way. I got another meme out of the way. But in all honesty, Hostiles, 1892 is not really my style of quote-unquote American military whatever. But the thing is that we all know yesterday was Veterans Day. And
yes.
Yeah.
I want to mention this. I just want to say a couple words before I speak about this movie, is that more and more as I get older, I don't see Veterans Day as a day off of school or as a way to hang out with my friends. As the years go by, I learn more and more about my family history. And it's something that even, it's just like, it's something that I kind of disagree with when I have to go into work on a holiday where my ancestors pretty much formed this country.
Mm-hmm.
For reference, I've seen the historical documents and the documentation and everything. I am an ancestor of a Revolutionary War captain, John Isaac Hall of the Medford Minutemen. And I am also an ancestor of George Mason, coined George Mason University.
Yes, which I've visited a few times. Mm-hmm. It's a nice place. The fun fact, they have the statue of George Mason facing the opposite direction of George Washington to sort of symbolize their rivalry.
Yeah, they did butt heads. That is something that I've learned throughout the years. But it's
so what do you
also...
have to say regarding this movie?
I'm not done yet.
Okay, keep going.
Just a little to follow.
I'll let you know when I'm done. The earliest I ever learned about, somebody being a veteran in my family was my grandfather. While not blood-related, he is pretty much the closest grandfather I'll ever have on my mother's side. He was a Green Beret in the U.S. Army Special Forces right when the Green Berets formed, before America went full-on boots on the ground in Vietnam. In fact, he's told us the story of how he was thrown in the brig for a few days because he would not take off his Green Beret, which was part of his uniform. Only after a few days of being in solitary, his commanding officer, the Green Beret commanding officer, said, "Get this man out of solitary. He will listen to you, but his orders come directly from me." And it's something that's kind of stuck around with me, saying is that, not everything is easy in the military. And I've learned that somebody who I barely remember was on the USS Enterprise, known at the Star Trek ship, but the actual the naval ship, the Enterprise, when it was attacked by kamikaze planes in World War II. And he didn't really tell stories about that because it was very traumatic for him, and I understand why.
I read the summary of the account of the guy who researched the USS Indianapolis, which was also hit by, I think it was actually hit by a torpedo, and then it sank in 14 minutes, and it did not go well.
And it's very hard for me to honor the people that, I have little to no kind of physical memory of when they've done so much to not only protect this country, but, make it a country itself. And it makes me very appreciative of the men and women who have served this country, whether it be current, former, whether it be World War II, whether it be, the Iraq War, or whatever the fuck's going on right now. And there is a veteran among us that would be Shuttlewolf. And I didn't properly get to say it yesterday because I was busy dealing with work and other obligations, but it means a lot that you were able to serve this country for the amount of time that you did, whether it's a day or a decade or multiple decades. Thank you for your service to any and all veterans of the U.S. military.
And regarding the movie?
And regarding the movie, it's something that was technically controversial in its day in 1892. It's like, oh, we're America, manifest destiny. We gotta go steal the land from these red engines. But it's somebody who decides to, actually grow a pair of balls and escort a Cheyenne tribe chief and his family throughout a dangerous spot in America, because we all know this was America at the time, and we must kill all the Indians and put them on land that we stole from them.
Steal this land. It was nice when we stole it.
Yeah, it was nice when we stole it, at least. That's George Carlin, by the way. I actually kind of don't. I don't like the fact that the Americans of ye old age stole land from people that were there beforehand. But I can't change the past, and that's why I don't really worry about it. But it's kind of cool to see a story about somebody who actually grew a pair of testicles and actually did something that he was not technically supposed to do, just because it was the right thing to do.
We spent like a whole 5 minutes on talking about the veterans. Anyway, do you want me to move on?
It was Veterans Day yesterday.
yesterday.
I'm sorry, I had to bring something up because I learn more and more each year that my family has roots in American history.
Of course. Do you want me to move on to our next coming attraction?
Yes.
All right. The Post, the country's first female newspaper publisher and a hard-driving editor, joined an unprecedented battle between journalists and government after a cover-up regarding the Vietnam War spanned for 4 presidencies. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, I'm already sold. I already looked at who's acting in this film. You have Tom Hanks and Meryl fucking Streep.
That's a good combination.
Do I even need to say more? I'm already sold. Like, I don't get it. Like, everything that Tom Hanks touches is just gold, and this is one of these movies, I think. What do you guys have to say?
Just shut up. Just shut up. You are a toy. Lieutenant Dan Ice Cream Wilson.
No, but really. What do you have to say?
I mean, one, it regards the Vietnam War, and I actually do have some, story I just mentioned. That in Vietnam, kind of Cold War era warfare does interest me a little bit. But the fact that, the government really tried to cover up Vietnam from the public because, we Americans wanted to care about their image, and they said, oh, no, it's bad. It actually really intrigues me that, these stories about military secrets and secrets that have been kept to the public, whether it be in, like, truthful form or in fictional form, like in movies, are becoming more and more popular. I really do agree. I do like where this film is going. That and Tom Hanks.
And you, Kruz?
Just a little bit, so not quite as extensive as Naka's was something I want to add to, but since this regards the Washington Post, and I mean, that's kind of the local newspaper for where I am, besides the Baltimore Sun, but this is one of the more notable papers in the U.S. I find it interesting. This is a sort of like an untold kind of period of history, because I, of course, knew that, there were false reports of, details about the Vietnam War, namely casualties and whatnot, that were being reported, and that there's a lot of controversy as to reporting the truth versus just staying loyal to the country, because it would have been seen as dissent. But I did not have an ancestor in the Vietnam War. I do believe I had an ancestor who fought in the Korean War, and my grandfather, who was in hospice recently, is doing well, though. He served in the Coast Guard during World War II and stationed in Japan. So I do have that connection to personal people I've known who've been in our armed forces. And of course, yesterday was the 99th anniversary of Armistice Day, where one of the most brutal wars of our time ended. And every time I listen to the song by Sabaton, "The Price of a Mile," it can't help but feel a little bit emotional, because it's like you realize that what happened was 6 miles of ground have been won, 500,000 men are gone, so what's the price of a mile?
Right. Is there anything else you want to say regarding this movie?
regarding both movies, Hostiles, I do think it looks interesting because the real-ish side of the Wild West is very, very much interesting to look into and look into the actual origins of some of the, or stories like I think the most recent one I remember was Revenant, aka I'm not dying until I get that Oscar. With the Post, the combination of Hanks and Streep does look pretty promising to me. And of course, because the Washington Post is my local paper, basically. I mean, I might as well go and see it.
Yeah.
Of course,
Anyway,
being a history nerd.
That's really all we have to say regarding the Post, right, Naka?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, do you want me to move? Is that?
That's
Anyway,
all.
That is it for the coming attractions.
That's all, folks.
But we do have one more announcement. Regarding please donate if you guys want us to get better with our episodes, please once again don't donate to us on Streamlabs. We would like to give you as much as we can, with the best that we can. So all your donations are greatly appreciated, and that is it. That is our show for tonight, folks. Is there anything else you want to say?
Anything else I want to say? Hold on.
Pickles. 2 Jackal Waters, Caramel Horse. That'll be $16.95 at the next window. Can I have the next customer?
You don't need that. I'm right here.
I'll take a double Trivy Bossy Deluxe on a raft, 4x4 animal style, extra shingles with the shimmy and a squeeze, light axle grease, make it cry, burn it, and let it swim.
Still no pickles.
Having trouble with
Anyway,
the radar,
guys,
sir.
that is it. That is our show for tonight, folks.
I'm having trouble with the radar, sir. Okay, I'm done.
They're in trouble with the radar. Yeah. That reminded me there
Anyway.
was a Facebook event or something because it's local for me, going to Annapolis, the Naval Academy, and saying, Squidward, the robots are running the Navy.
Not the Navy. Guys, you gotta help. The robots are taking over our world. Are taking over the world.
I would love to do that so much.
Our world. Anyway, that my name is Scarfy.
Anyway, my name is Kruz.
And this has been Subwuffer Entertainment Treehouse. Legalize woo. Be sure to spay and neuter your cats. And as always, have yourselves a fantastic night and take care.
All right.
Are we off?
See you next time.